Okay, all right. So we are going to be implementing getting a particular uh ID, a particular tax. So if I have dot get, so I want to receive what the ID, then request dot response. So I want to we are going to be passing the ID we want to get from as a parameter actually. So I could say ID is equal to request dot params dot ID. Then what do I need to do? And I want to filter. So I want to say record is equal to what? To do's dot what? So I want to filter to do if to do dot id is equal to what? Is equal to id. So you should know this. So we are trying to fetch only the id that matches the id we are looking for. So we can do what? We can res.json and then say something like data is equal to the record, then just then the status should be 200. So can you see that? So if I run this, so if I create a new, if I create taxes, play football, change this to 50 minutes. So we have two taxes. So if I fetch them, so at the moment you have two taxes. So we want to get a particular tax. So I can say get the tax. So I can fetch tax 2, which is to play ball. So if I make that request, so can you see that? So we have only that tax. So if I have one, uh, id of one, so can you see that we have only that one? So if I use two again, I run it, so can you see that? So we are fetching a particular tax. And so now what about the case whereby we don't have any? So we don't have any tax with id of 3. Now the next endpoint is what? Delete. So we want to delete. So we want to delete a tax by the id. So we are going to be getting the id by using request.params.id. We want to fetch that id. We want to get it. So I can say const. So how do I do this? So we could mm, so how do we delete? How do we delete? How do we delete? Look, what about if I do to do's dot uh I would have loved to reinitialize, but you cannot reinitialize a constant variable. Filter a function that accepts up to. So this one basically returns the element of an array that meets the condition. So it returns it. It does not actually affect our to-dos. So we need to look for another function. So I could say something like, should I use const here? So what if I splice the zero based location? So I want to remove that the start and the end, but this one returns a copy of the array. It doesn't affect that array. So this one does what? Removes element from an array. Okay, okay, okay. Remove element from an array and if necessary insert new Okay, this one actually affects it affects the array. So how do we do that? How do I go about this? So I could say something like, so we already have the ID of that tax. So we want to splice it. So to splice it, you need to get the position of that tax that we want to splice. So I could say something like const id index is equal to do's dot find index find index to do where to do is equals to do dot id is equals to id. So let's see that. So I want to splice from that point. So if I splice from that id index, then I want to remove only one. So let's return. So let's res.json. The data should be to do's and the status should be 204. It is not actually advisable to return anything during when you are done deleting a variable. You just need to only return your 204. But for now, I just want to check if something is actually if it is actually affected, like our method, the method we defined. We'll define a new or the delete tags. So we'll give this a delete. So I want to delete number 2. So let's create. So I create the first one. I create the second one. If I get, I'm getting everything. And if I delete, I want to delete the one with index 2 or index 1. Okay. Okay, so let me try and get. Okay, so we've deleted index. Okay. Okay. So basically what's happening is this delete, it actually deleted index 1. Um, it deleted tags at index 2 instead of index 1. So it's the error is with our implementation. So it deleted tags at index 2 instead of index 1. So uh so let's debug this id index. So let's do it again. Let's create another one. Let's say play. So now I've created. So we have 2 tags now. So we have, so let's delete the one at index 1. So while you delete the one at index 1, it's not actually deleting anyone because the two of them still exist. So how do I go about this? So I could say splice starting from -1. And I want to delete 1. Here we have -1. Here we have -1, meaning that it did not find it. It could not find -1 means that it could not find the to do with the ID of 1. So what's happening? So what could be happening is that this strict uh, this is strictly typed. This one will be a number, but this one is a string. So let's go on. Let's try again. Let's create. Let's watch. Now let's delete. Okay, I want to delete index 1, but now I deleted index 2. So what happened? So our ID index is at index 0. So our ID index, which is that ID tax that has the ID of 1, is actually at index 0. Now, so here I'm now saying I want to start deleting from what? 0 minus 1, which is what? Which is which is minus 1. So basically, we don't need this minus 1. We don't need minus 1. So uh so we are starting and we are deleting. So I want to delete only once. So if I want to delete, I should have, so the index. Okay, from here now, if I have two arrays, two tags, tax 1 with ID 1, then tax 2 with ID 2. Now I don't want to, I want to delete um this tax here and not this second one. So I think, yeah, so this should be good. It should be good to go here now. That's your JavaScript function. Most times you need to understand your JavaScript functions. So so uh if I now try to delete when at index 1, yeah, so it's working now. So it's working now. So if I get the to-dos, yeah, so we have only index 2. So we've successfully deleted what? We've successfully deleted uh index 1. So can you see that? So that's that. And so that's that for this class. And building your basic CRUD application using Node.js. So this is basically it. So now one thing I am not certain about is this. Should be status code 201. All right. So let me include this 204. So if I run this, if I create my first to do, so something is wrong. So what's wrong? Status code is not a function. I think in the next class we are going to try to resolve that. I'm going to resolve that in the next class. So but for now, let's just work with this. So thank you for this. Thank you for paying attention.